Thank you, Mr. Chairman. This is not a partisan issue. This is something that we should be able to work together and get done. I have 3 young boys. John's 11, Hudson is 10 in 2 days, and Christian is 6. And my 6-year-old, when wanting to watch cartoons, saw something nice up on TV, a cartoon, innocent, and he was able, through the App Store, on our television, to buy Max, HBO, Cinemax, Showtime. And he was able to gain access through that just in a portal. It's vital to make sure that we hold our virtual stores to the same standards that we hold our physical stores when it comes to material that is adult or addictive. And that is why I'm leading on this App Store bill that makes sure that we continue behind states that are taking the first step by making sure that we have a National Accountability Act that harmonizes the effectiveness of giving parents the tools to take care of their children. The lack of guardrails in the digital app stores defies logic and puts children at risk. There is simply no good reason why app stores should be allowed to circumvent the same lawful ID checks that brick-and-mortar stores abide to protect children from accessing age-restricted items such as, again, alcohol and tobacco. In other words, we don't rely on Marlboro or Budweiser to ensure kids aren't purchasing their products. We look at CVS, we look at 7-Eleven, we look at the supermarkets to age gate. The app ecosystem should be no different than what is currently established in the United States of America. These app stores are out of touch, and they need to come to reality. This is not a partisan issue, as I said before. This is common sense policy across party lines. It is also what parents want. It's what parents are demanding. Parents like us. We've seen similar legislation gaining steam and picking up momentum around the country. Other states, Alabama, Kentucky, New Mexico, Alaska, and other states. This issue is far too important not to get this bill signed into law in this Congress. It's critical that we get this done, we get it right. My first question is for Ms. Hawkins. Clearly, the status quo is not working. And the current policy framework around these digital app stores is failing to protect our children. What loopholes does this bill rectify in our current law? And can you elaborate on why this bill, in your opinion, is built to withstand a legal challenge given the focus on contracts, terms of service?
Yes, thank you. Thank you, Congressman James. Right now, our children are signing contracts, complex terms of service agreements with apps individually every time they download it. These contracts allow access to their contact list, to their camera, to their photos, to their exact location. And parents often have no idea at all. There's no other place in American law where kids are allowed to sign contracts and broker into these really intense agreements. So that's one loophole. Another, though, is the age ratings. Parents think that they have given permission to their kids to get access to apps that are appropriate for their age. And the entire parental control system on both iOS and Google devices is based on these ages. That Google and Apple have said, yes, these are right. But we're finding there's the nonpartisan organization's HEAT initiative and Parents Together. They just released a report where 200 apps had harmful content. Our organization has found hundreds going back every year for 5 years that are rated for 4-year-olds, 9-year-olds, 12-year-olds. And it has sexually explicit content and allows strangers to communicate directly. It gives access to location. The list goes on. Unless there's accurate age ratings, we as parents can't make the decisions about whether this is appropriate content or material for our kids. And the entire system for safety doesn't even work.
Thank you, Madam. Ms. Slaughter, when were you sworn in?
I was originally sworn in on May 2nd, 2018.
May 2nd, 2018, and you were chairman of the FTC for a small period of time, were you not?
I was the acting chair from January to June of 2021.
Acting chair of June 2021. I'd ask my colleagues, but I'm running low on time. Do you recall who was in the majority in Congress during that time period?
I believe the Democrats were...
Democrats were majority in Congress. Do you remember who the president was at that time?
It was Joe Biden.
It was Joe Biden. Joe Biden's approval rate was 57%, yet since 2018 and 2022, 33 kids younger than 13 have died as a result of challenges on TikTok. Democrats are furious, they're incensed, they're outraged over these firings. But Republicans are outraged by dead babies and child porn. Do you ever think that maybe you might not have been as good at your job as you thought you were. Do you think that maybe something should change? My colleagues on the left are continuously saying, and I believe you said, we need to empower the government agencies. Well, what we are here to do is empower the parents, because when you empower parents, you give children a chance, and we need to try something different than what has failed over the past 7 years. Mr. Chairman, I yield.